Hello, gamers and gameristas, and welcome to this sixth episode of the Press X the podcast. I'm your host for today, Stevie, and joining me are my usual colleagues, Alex and Benjamin.
Oh, colleagues, that's a downgrade.
It's
Okay.
called Press X to podcast. We don't have. It's not the Press X to podcast, people. It's not that hard.
Yes, it's the Press X the podcast. That's our group, and it's a podcast, so I have to say it twice.
God damn it.
Does that irritate you?
Yeah, I hate you.
So, to be honest, it confuses me as well because our name is Press X to podcast, but we are a podcast. So, is it Press X to podcast or Press X to podcast the podcast? Like, I have
It's
to
in
take
the name.
I have to take Stevie's side here.
We don't.
Like,
we haven't thought this through at all.
it's a bit confusing.
We're not big on thinkies. That's why we're so good
Yeah.
at.
That's why we
being
also
the
titled
fun.
That's why we also titled the podcast name. We thought we were original by titling it Press X to podcast, but there is already a Press X podcast. So
I think there's like 3 different ones.
so yeah, we're a bit dumb.
Well,
but
it was clearly a good
we don't make
decision if we
blunders.
were-
Just a bit dumb, or like very dumb.
We're very dumb, but we don't make blunders here.
On a scale from 20 to 100, how much?
How much are we
20?
dumb or how much
Why
do we blunder?
20?
Because 0 is not an option for us.
Oh, okay. You're okay. I would go with about a clean 69%. You know, the gamer number never fails to disappoint.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-mm.
I
So
agree.
Stevie, what is today's theme?
Today's theme is our history together, gamers.
History lessons, boys.
History lessons. It
Our
all started
origin
in the
story.
distant year of 2020.
2020. Well,
No, 2019. I'm gonna have to correct myself.
about our origin story, how we learned it, how we knew about each other, and how we became friends and stuff like that.
So are we like doing it chronologically, or do we start just with Stevie because he's the most epic host of this episode?
No, I think we should do it chronologically. Otherwise, it causes confusion.
Okay, I see. Makes sense.
That's my thought, at least. It starts with me and Penny because we knew each other way back. So it has been some time ago, 12 years almost, I think.
I mean, we
2009.
knew each other since like 4th grade.
Yeah,
So that would be, let me check.
a long time
4th
ago.
grade, you like start in 1st grade with 6 years.
Yes.
So in 4th grade, you would be 10 years. So that's 11 years ago,
Okay.
right?
I think so. Yeah, 2010 seems about right. Yeah, I think it was 2010. We were in grade school. I moved to your city, Penny, the big
That
city.
shall remain unnamed.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not going to dox us.
So yeah,
Uh,
Alex like moved into my city and started going to my school. So
Yeah.
that's how we got like acquainted.
Yeah, it started kind of weirdly because we were in the same class for about, I think, half a year. And we talked, but you weren't like my
Very
main
close.
yeah, you weren't
But-
my main friends.
I think it's not even half a year because like school for us starts in September, and
Yeah,
like
you're right.
your birthday is in December.
Yeah.
So it was like 3 months.
Yeah, if I remember distinctly, I invited you to my birthday. Then we became friends after that because you stayed
Yeah.
longer because you wanted to play with the Wii.
Yeah, we were like he pretty much invited the whole class to his birthday party in
Yeah.
December, and like we played Mario Party and Just Dance and stuff. It was really fun, and like he had a lot of games I was really interested in, like Super Mario Galaxy. That's the one we really bonded over
Yeah.
at the start. And yeah, I stayed for longer than the other people because we just kept playing games, I guess.
Yeah, I think we played Wii Sports or stuff. Not Wii Sports. There was another.
What was it called? The one with the Wii Fit tablet, like where you stand on.
It was with the Wii Fit tablet, but I don't think it was Wii Fit. It was another game. I don't remember it either. Maybe I'll look it up later. But yeah, I remember distinctly you played the skateboarding game, I think.
All right.
Yeah. I think it was. I remember you stayed there when the others already went home, and you just played the skateboarding game all the time.
Stevie, you had a Wii, right?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
everyone had at least 2.
What?
What?
No, I'm exaggerating. It's because
Okay.
everyone had
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay.
Did you have the Wii balance board?
No.
Never.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
me neither.
that's what's called.
Yeah. I just looked it up. I couldn't find the game, but I think it was like Wii Sports Plus or something.
Yeah,
Could that
that
be?
seems about right.
Not Wii Sports Plus.
Party.
Wii Fit Plus or something. Wii Party is something different.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's a
No-
genius name. Whoever came up with that was like biggest brain.
You just added the plus there. Yeah, that was fun.
Nintendo has a weird tendency to add plus to whatever they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or new.
Yeah.
I remember also afterwards we bonded over Yu-Gi-Oh, I think, also, and other
yeah.
stuff. And so yeah, we were kind of into the same thing, or the same things in general, I think.
Yeah,
So-
I was wondering, because I don't really remember, were you into Yu-Gi-Oh before, or did I show it to you?
No, I was into Yu-Gi-Oh before. I
Mm.
was into Yu-Gi-Oh since I think first grade because we just loved to collect the cards. But I remember I was the only kid who actually knew how to play it because I read the rule book and I knew how to play it, but nobody around me knew. So I forced my brother to play it with me and my father, and nobody gave a shit about it other than me. But I just forced him anyways. And then I got really mad when I lost.
Yeah, so like we started bonding over Yu-Gi-Oh, because it became like a habit for us to play during lunch break at school,
Yeah.
or not even lunch break, but like during breaks. And I think I remember that at some point, like the teachers got mad at us and like took away, or was it Beyblade? I think it was with Beyblade.
I think it was with Beyblade. That was after Yu-Gi-Oh. I
Yeah, that
remember.
was after Yu-Gi-Oh. I think they took it away from us once.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
I know they just I remember just that they called us snobby kids because we always paid like €5 for a pack of 5 cards that was printed on paper.
True. Yeah, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards are expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
Or like generally trading card games, especially for like a grade schooler.
They were the grade school gacha experiences.
Jesus Christ, yeah,
But
that's
Yu-Gi-Oh cards are super expensive now too. You can buy
Yeah.
them singles.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Can
it's like,
compare with Pokemon though.
This Pokemon's more expensive, right?
Yeah. At
I
least
think-
the what?
No, keep talking.
Maybe the general game nuts, but the collector's items for Pokemon are fucking nuts. Like I don't know, the super rare Charizard, for example, and stuff like that. Yu-Gi-Oh has some cards like that, but they don't reach the value of those cards.
But in Yu-Gi-Oh you don't have like rare skins on the cards, do you?
Well, if you win at certain tournaments, you get a card that is only printed once, for example, and that's worth about $3,000. But if you compare it to a graded Charizard or what that stuff's called, I think that's about 60,000 or something like that, something insane, maybe even more. I don't know, but I know Pokemon cards are super like,
expensive. Yeah.
super expensive. Also because the whole it's there's a whole mania about collecting Pokemon. I think it surged in popularity also on Twitch a few years ago. I think 2 years ago, and is still going on now.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same thing with like gacha, because people really like watching people losing their shit over getting a super rare card or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they know they didn't spend the money. If the person that pulls doesn't get a good pool, they know that they didn't spend the money themselves. So it's a good watching experience for some people.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's fun. Like if I had the money of a famous YouTuber, maybe I would do the same thing, because it gives you content, and it also feels like your desire to collect something. So I get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of
I
did the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel when we when I streamed to you the my pack openings.
Yeah, pack openings in Master Duel are fun. Yeah, like I get that. I just don't feel comfortable spending a huge amount of money doing
in
that.
loot boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I get the appeal of opening packs or whatever on stream or on camera, but I can't watch them anymore. How do you feel? Like
I personally
No.
never really watched them because I think it's I get the appeal, but I think it's like not a good practice that it is content in the first place, because it gives the image of it's a good thing to spend thousands of dollars on like fucking cards, hoping you get that one. It's like gambling in the end, because like even if you resell the stuff, it's still pretty much gambling.
Yeah.
And I personally don't think YouTubers or anyone really should encourage people to gamble.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, I don't have a problem if it's in a moderate amount.
when does
But-
moderate stop though?
Well, if it's like if you spend $100 on a set of cards once in a while, I think that's okay. But
Yeah.
like spending excessive amounts of money, like starting from maybe 5K for monthly, that's like I mean even like $300 month is a bit exaggerated, because at a certain point, if it gets to a certain threshold, your mind is like, bro, I already spent $300. Like, I
And I
don't give a
didn't get
fuck. It's no. Let me finish.
Sorry.
If I spend $300, like, I don't give a fuck if I spent 100 more. I already spent way too much. So if I
Yeah.
spend 100
Yeah.
more, then I can just that's okay as well. And then it
It's the sunk
spirals.
cost. It's the
Yeah,
sunk
yeah.
cost fallacy.
Yeah. It spirals, and then you become a big fat whale, as the gacha players call them.
Yeah, I think the problem also is that a lot of like YouTubers that do mainly that type of content just don't show how much disposable income they have, because like a big factor is, are you spending income that you're doing nothing with? If you have
Yeah.
the money, it's okay for me. Like I personally don't think it's a good thing, but if you have thousands of dollars lying around and you think it's a good way to spend your money, then like go ahead. But for some people, it becomes a psychological problem that they're not able to hold back from spending money they maybe need
Yeah.
for rent or food or
like
whatever.
like most of the YouTubers are still pretty smart. Like, you see them spending a lot of money, but you don't really know their income. So maybe it's just like
Maybe they're actually turning a
2% 2% of their monthly income, and they turn a profit. But for you, it's 60% of your monthly income. Like, that's
And you don't get anything out from it. 'Cause
Yeah,
at least
because-
they're making content out of it.
Yeah, right.
They're getting money from it in the end. And those videos, they do pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, I think Raptor started a Pokemon trading card channel, and what he does is
I think, wasn't it Magic? I think it was Magic.
or Magic, yeah, or something like that. But I've heard that he started this channel, and he basically runs this channel. He buys his cards. He buys loads of cards, and then of the revenue he gets, he buys other cards. So his channel is purely a passion project, but it doesn't bleed out money.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay, for example.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have a hobby collecting things, and you don't even spend it. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah,
doesn't
it's a really smart way to like finance your hobby, and obviously like people are enjoying it, else it wouldn't take a profit. But that's also
Yeah.
just because Aaron is a funny as fuck guy. So
Yeah. And I mean, it isn't doing too well because I think he only gets 50,000 views, but it's enough to fuel the
Sustain,
channel.
yeah.
It's sustain his channel. That's the right word. Thank you. But yeah, that was a big passion of ours, Yu-Gi-Oh! And gaming naturally. Like gaming was always there. We started with Nintendo, then we slowly drifted. You slowly drifted into PC, and you showed me Minecraft, and we started playing
Yeah.
Minecraft. I
Minecraft
started
was a
playing when
very
you
big thing.
yeah. I started playing when you actually didn't play anymore. Like
Yeah.
we played a bit together, but you went on, and I stayed with Minecraft for a few years, gaming wise.
The biggest part I remember about Minecraft back in the day was I literally I think in the whole school, like in the whole middle school, I was the only person that knew how to mod Minecraft. So like people
Yeah.
kept coming to me and I had to install the Minecraft mods for them
Yeah,
on
tough
their
being
PCs.
famous,
bro.
isn't it?
Bro, when I was 12, I was so thirsty for the SpongeBob texture pack. I always went to you. and the Star Wars texture pack. That was fun as well.
Yeah, because I think there was this YouTuber. I don't even remember if he was a German YouTuber or if he was an English speaking YouTuber. Because I'm not sure if he was English. Because I think he was one of the first English YouTubers I watched because I was like trying to install Minecraft mods and there were no real like German tutorials on how to do it. I'm not 100% sure if that is correct. Maybe he was a German YouTuber. I think that he was an English YouTuber. And yeah, like it wasn't even that hard. You just needed to know like where to put the files and what WinRAR was. back in the
Yeah.
day.
But that's already quite a bit of information for a what
Middle
was it?
schooler, yeah.
Yeah, 12-year-old. Yeah. So
But yeah, I felt super smart and like a fucking hacker or something.
yeah.
And we always
looking
tried to
back.
like get Minecraft over LAN running. You
I
remember
remember that. Yeah. We tried to do I think we hosted a LAN party at my place.
Yeah,
once.
once or twice I think.
That was fun. Like
We
that
played
was cool.
with like the paintball mod and tried to like have a fight.
Yeah, the flans mod and the paintball mod.
Yeah.
I think with
Those
the
are really
colored
fun.
tents, right? Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. The good old Minecraft days, and yeah, then we started slowly coming to the Stevie's part. I think, right?
Oh, that
Like if
that's
we
a
want
bit-
to transition.
yeah, happened a bit later. But anyways,
Yeah, like I think I think with Benny I can't really talk about too personal stuff. But the rest would be what I can talk about would be our gaming journey or like my
Yeah.
gaming journey and your gaming journey. But maybe we can put that in another episode or stuff like that. Like I don't want to give away too much because maybe we can do that in the future. That would be fun as well. Is what I thought.
Yeah, because I think we had a very parallel gaming journey, I guess, because like since we have been friends for so long, we pretty much influenced each other along the way all the time.
Yeah. I think so as well. In gaming and also in media in general, I think because you showed me
yeah.
anime.
Yeah, because I get into anime because of One Piece was running back in the day in TV, and
Yeah,
my cousin said
your
I
cousin.
should watch it on with Japanese dub and English sub. So I like got into that, and then I
Oh
started
wait, you
getting-
started sub?
Yeah, I
You
started
started with
sub.
sub, bruh. What an OG! What an OG sub!
Yeah, I'm very grateful
wait.
for my cousin for telling me to do that.
average sub.
I never went back.
Yeah, I started One Piece with dub and then transitioned into sub because the sub had was 400 episodes ahead or something. So I got to
Yeah.
transition into
Yeah.
sub.
And
it
yeah,
was
that just opens a whole. That just opened a completely new like how would you say it? A completely new world of media
yeah,
to both of
yeah.
us.
Yeah,
Because I think you
anime
then
was a big
showed me
influence.
what was it called? Death Note to me.
Yeah, because I transitioned into other anime as well. Then I showed you stuff and you showed me stuff. I
Yeah.
remember. I think between after middle school there was about half a year where we didn't really speak to each other. And
Yeah,
then
because like we changed schools and there was a big change in environment for both of us, I guess. And
yeah, then we
it
lost
I
contact
think
a
it's
bit.
it's not even it's not it wasn't even directly after middle school. It was like I think in like the second or third year of high school, because um I don't know, our Discord channel was also like we had a Discord at that point. Um, that like one of our friends wasn't really in the group anymore, and
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
You just you changed schools. That was it. You changed high schools for the first time,
yeah,
or like for the second time, because you spent 1 year at my school, and you changed schools for the second time, and then you started like hanging out with your friends from your high school way more,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's why we didn't speak as much.
Well, I think there we spoke for I think we had like we spoke at least once a month, I think.
Yeah, just
But
not as
but
regularly anymore.
yeah, but I think there was a time between after middle school and and high school, or in the first year of high school, in the first half of the first year, there was a time where we didn't really speak to each other because we lost a bit of contact. But I think then we connected again, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there was any reason why we did that. It just happened, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like on a small tangent. Do you ever remember us really having like we had some short tussles, I guess,
Break.
but we
Yeah.
never really
Oh.
had a big fight.
Oh
I think.
no! Yeah, well, we had like I don't think we had a big fight, but I don't think I had ever a big fight other than with my brother.
Mm.
Like I think we had we had some tussles. We had a bit of a fight in some situations, but I don't think also with Stevie I never had a big fight.
Yeah, yeah.
It's we
We
there
just
were
naturally get along.
yeah I it's yeah, like we sometimes we have disagreements and we're sour for a day or so, but
Yeah.
nothing like big.
Yeah, I guess we're just fun people to be with.
Yeah, we're just vibing.
Let's go over to like how we met Stevie.
In middle school, I got to know Benjamin's brother, and we started playing Fortnite together. And we got pretty close, playing Fortnite and whatnot. He doesn't frequent my same school as me, but he lives in the area. He lived in the area like in the when I went to middle school. And I often saw him, and we would hang out after school or during lunch. And then in my in my third year of middle school, first year of high school, I often went over to your house, and we would play Smash or Mario Kart or whatever. And I got to know Benny casually through that.
Yeah, because like we didn't really speak at all during
No,
that time.
I'd see you in the kitchen like getting some food or whatever, and you'd be off
Yeah.
to your room again. Sometimes you'd join us to play Smash. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
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 I don't really know what to say to
I
that.
don't know what to add either. Like really.
I think because I was super into Smash at the time, and I had no one that really played with me, like grinded Smash with me. And when I was with Penny there, when we started knowing each other, when Penny invited you and his brother into the room to play Smash together, we started playing, and it was a lot of fun. But afterwards, I didn't really think too much about it because like everybody has fun playing Smash every once in a while. And then I think it was Tommy that texted me that he and you, Stevie, started playing Smash online, and if I wanted to join, and I was psyched because I had no one to play Smash at the time, so
Yeah, but
I was
before
on
this,
board.
we met before COVID, and we got together, the four of us, to play Splinter Cell. If you remember.
True.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Before Penny.
Yeah.
No,
I'm sorry.
no.
Before me.
Yes.
Sorry.
I got to know you for the first time then.
Oh no! I think we played Splinter Cell and then Smash.
Yes, that was the same day.
Yeah, that was the same day. Yeah, you're right.
You didn't quite get into Splinter Cell, did you?
No, I don't like the game. I respect the game design aspects of it, but I don't like it. It's not my game.
Yeah, it's really a shame because short tangent. I'm a really big fan of like stealth games, and when I heard there was this video from Super Bunny Hub about the Splinter Cell Chaos Theory multiplayer mode, which is discontinued, so like there are no servers for it anymore. It's like for a long time, but people religiously play it because I played the multiplayer mode for Blacklist back in the day, and the idea is like it's an asymmetric thing. One team is the sneaky guys, and one is the like soldier guys, and the sneaky guys have like all this movement options you have in Splinter Cell, while the soldier guys are typical FPS, and they like go against each other. And I found that to be super like a super interesting multiplayer mode, and I really wanted to play it, but there was no one wanted to play this old ass game where no servers were running, and you would have to like go through a very complicated process of installing like software, like something similar, like what was it called?
Hamachi.
Yeah. It was similar to that one, so we could like play over in the internet, but pretending it was LAN and like all that shit. And I don't know. It was. I am very obsessed with playing very old games, and people hate them sometimes. So it's really hard for me.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a really fun game.
Like if you're not big into gaming in general, even if you're just a casual gamer, and going back and play old games just feels even more clunkier, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing, especially with this case, is like there is nothing really like it in a modern game. That's why I thought about like creating my own version of it. Because if there was, I would like be playing the shit out of it. But there's none. So.
And you tried to get us to play it.
Yeah, yeah. But was that before Smash? Because I don't really remember. I thought Stevie and I like only really got to know each other.
When we went to play Splinter Cell, I also played Smash Ultimate for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by Smash. I love it. I loved it. It was so fun to play.
Yeah.
And then I bought the game myself.
I remember we made a little trade-off for me and Penny. He was like, yeah, if you play Splinter Cell with me and we make like a 4-player session, then we can play Smash Ultimate afterwards. That's like a big reason why I agreed. Because I was like, okay, I'm going to play an hour Splinter Cell, but then I can finally play some Smash with more people.
To stay on top, like not really on topic, little tangent by me here. After we played Smash at your place, Manny, I wanted to buy the game myself, and I started like hopping around the stores one day in our city in looking for the game, and I couldn't find a single physical copy. So what I did was, I was so impatient to get it, right? I bought a fucking SD card for 40 euros and the game online, and I spent more than 100 euros that day. Best purchase of my life.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Holy fuck. Like, why did you buy an SD card though?
I was so frustrated that I couldn't get my hands on the game. I wanted to play it that day.
Did you not have space on your Switch?
No, I didn't.
It's because he played Fortnite, Benny.
No, I played it on my PC.
Oh yeah, right. Is Smash Ultimate bigger than like the capacity?
No, it's not
of
bigger,
memory?
but it's like close to half the storage, and I already own Stardew Valley, I think, and like some other indie game. I can't remember now, and I was pretty sure it wouldn't fit.
I think because when you I remember distinctly that after that we didn't like hear from you, or I didn't hear from you and you didn't hear from me for about a month or maybe 2, and then when Tommy asked me to play Smash, and we started reconnecting, and then Benny also started reconnecting.
Yeah, because for me, like, we had the Discord server, and like Alex just like started not showing up as much anymore, and I was a bit like sad because I wanted to hang out with you, but you kept hanging out with my brother and his friend, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? But then like I joined your guys' server, and like we kind of vibed, even though I'm not as much into Smash as those two. I like started getting back into Smash just for the sake of hanging out with Alex, and
hell yeah.
And now I'm hanging out with Stevie as well. But yeah, not gonna lie, I felt a bit weird hanging out with middle schoolers back in the day. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Me too. I mean, I feel weird about it to this day a bit. But what can you do? It's like, well, it's nothing wrong with it. We just share the same interests. It's just an age gap.
Yeah, I guess we would be like the cool uncles that play video games with their nephews or something.
Okay, I don't think I would consider myself uncle just yet. Like, I think that's a bit.
I said we would be. Later.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I get you. I misunderstood. I thought you meant like we were the uncle of Stevie or something from the age gap vibe. I was like, that's a bit too much.
Oh no, that's a bit sus.
Yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, that's a bit too much.
But yeah, I wonder how his mother. Because like we went to your place at some point with like Tommy to play some coup and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think your mother was a bit like weirded out that we would hang out with you guys, but I think she liked us. So
yeah,
I don't know.
She didn't find anything wrong with it. Like also the first few times when I asked my mom to like play Smash with you or go out to eat or something, she would be like, "Yo, watch out! They're like 20. Don't get into smoking or into drinking or whatever."
Yeah, I mean that's natural.
Benji and Schmalik's like, we don't spend money on smokes. We need that money for video
Yeah, we need the new Smash character though.
Yo, the new fighter pass, and that's me not smoking for 2 months. Perfect.
I could get a beer, or I could get Cloud and Smash.
Trade offer. So yeah. Yeah, and like that's what I'm saying. It was a bit of a weird encounter, I guess, with like me suddenly starting to hang out with my brother and his best friend, and I was like,
yeah,
this is kind of weird, but I guess I like it.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
look at us, we have a fucking video game podcast.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? Like, if you share the same interest and you're just having fun with each other, like what wrong does it do? Like hanging out with people 5 years older or younger than you.
I mean, it is a bit weird when one of them is like 20 and the other is 15. Usually, I understand why people think it's weird, but like we weren't in like a relationship or anything. That's
no. We had a girl that was 15 and she was into Smash. Like I couldn't do that. Like that would be
there's
weird.
too much sus on us, and
I couldn't live with being called, oh, you're a pedophile or something like that. Like, bruh, I'm just playing Smash with her.
I'm just smashing her.
Oh no.
Yeah, like explain that.
And then
Like, the joke,
you hear in
I
the
hate-
Discord Alex saying like, "I just smashed Susie," and it's like, bro, no, wait, what?
you need to elaborate.
Susie does sound like a
Police
15-year-old.
sirens in the distance.
Susie is a typical 15-year-old that's into Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I would feel like a Minecraft YouTuber or something like that. Like, that's just weird.
Like a Smash player.
Oh,
Smash players are 15 too, Alex.
You're right.
I mean, just look at the tournaments. You know what happened.
Yeah. Well, Smash is on an uprise though. Like
Yeah,
it's I don't know why, because I stopped like following the competitive scene, but
Yeah,
I
me
checked it out like a week ago, and the prize pool somehow went up. Like
Really?
because Smash really had low prize pools, but now there's this big tournament and the prize pools is like 150k, and that's
Holy
insane
shit.
for Smash.
it's crazy.
I,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened or if it's just this one tournament, but maybe Smash is not dead yet. Because that's what everybody thought it would be after the whole scandal.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I
hate it when
had a
people
very. Sorry, Stevie.
I hate it when people say this game is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's never the case. Like,
I
a game is
mean-
considered dead to me when the servers are empty and you take hours to find a game.
Yeah.
Sometimes
yeah, you're right.
sometimes games are dead because of their developers though. Because I like do you know Command and Conquer? Any of you?
No.
Those are like some of the biggest real-time strategy games of all time. Like on the level of like I wouldn't know, maybe not on the level of like StarCraft, but like they had a big fandom and they still do. But like the developer Westwood was bought up by EA back in the day, and like they made some good games under EA. Definitely, like they were published by EA at that time. They made great games, but at some point, like EA just pulled the plug, and the servers died because of the service that provided the servers with the service. Like that just killed the games instantly. And like people love those games to this day, and there's like full-on communities that have their own launcher to still play those games online nowadays. But like sometimes developers just fuck over a complete community, because like EA
Yeah.
has the option of like restoring those games or like putting out remaster. They even did a remaster of like the first one, but they never did anything with the IP. They never developed another Command and Conquer game, except for like a mobile game, which everyone hated. And I don't know, there, like you say, there's never really a point where a game is dead, except for when the community abandons it for good reason.
Yeah.
Like, I'd argue Call of Duty Ghost, you can consider a dead game because there's never more than 1,000 people online at once.
Oh,
But like
I
saying,
wouldn't say it's dead then. Like as long as you find games, I'd say it's not a dead game.
so you'd say an online game that's unplayable because of the lack of a player base.
Yeah, or like unplayable because of some different reason.
No, I think a game is dead is more used than like it's not used in the same sense as you interpret the game is dead, which is the game is unplayable online or is really bad to play online. It's like nowadays the term is more used to say the game is not in his prime anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what sucks a bit, I think.
The
Like
problem with that is that some YouTubers just milk milk this saying in like some YouTubers just claim a game is dead to get views.
Yeah. That's sad.
I've
That
seen that
sucks a bit.
happen so many times. Like,
Yeah.
you know how hard it is for me? Like, when I was playing Fortnite, every week I'd see a new video of Fortnite is dying while the game was still gaining popularity.
Oh, I watched every single one of those.
Yeah,
I hated that area of YouTube because everybody kept doing clickbait, the Fortnite videos for children. Like even like the biggest YouTubers. If you weren't a YouTuber that did like Fortnite stuff for children, or just Fortnite in general, then you were a commentator that covered scandals in the Fortnite community about them to get views. Like that was the era when YouTube was when Fortnite was big on YouTube. So I really hated it for content. So I was looking forward to other games reclaiming the title of most popular game at the time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the same kind of like back in the day in middle school. Stopped being into Minecraft for multiple reasons. One of the reasons was that it was so popular and like it was considered like a kiddie game, which I still kind
Yeah.
of consider Minecraft to be kind of a kiddie game, but like it's
No,
undeserved. Minecraft is a great game,
okay,
but
okay.
I don't know. With Fortnite, I also like we talked about this a few episodes ago, that I kind of disliked it from going in because I was so frustrated with them making it a battle royale, and it was like popular with kids because it was a free to play game,
You were
obviously, and like
I know you were excited for the like the PvE aspect of it.
yeah,
For the original Fortnite.
yeah.
Because they just added the battle royale in, I think, a month later, and then they saw that it clicked with people, and they started only focusing on that. I think that
Is the saving the world mode dead now? By the way,
No. It's like it got updates until like a couple of months ago. It got its last update. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
But like, what do you mean it's dead? The
As in,
developers.
I thought at
we're
some
going
point.
back to that.
Yeah, going back to the. I thought I had heard that they shut it down. That like there was no way to play it anymore.
I think that's not the case.
Okay.
Let
'Cause
me
I
check
haven't
real
touched
quick.
Fortnite in like ever.
I played the PvE a good amount actually.
You know what we should call this episode? Is Press X to podcast dead?
Yeah, because we don't know what that means anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think Splinter Cell, for example, is also like that. I would consider a dead game, like the multiplayer at least. The Splinter Cell Chaos Theory multiplayer mode is a dead game mode because no one really plays it anymore except when they set up a game with their friends. There's no way to play it by yourself anymore,
Yeah.
which is a shame because that's a fun game.
Yeah.
Lots of
I mean,
like, experimental and stuff I hadn't seen before in that kind of capacity.
Yeah, I respect Splinter Cell, even though I don't like it. Like with many games.
Would you like consider playing the same mode if it was like modernized with better controls and a more fluent movement system?
I maybe, but I think I just don't like the concept.
I see.
You don't? Really?
Yeah, I would rather play other games than.
I feel like in the way Splinter Cell does it is the like absolute best way you could make a stealth game working in PvP.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel
And
the
I
same.
feel and I think that's extremely fun,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I
even in my head.
a stealth game, PvP game doesn't appeal to me. That's what I'm saying. Like I think it's probably one of the best ways to create a stealth PvP game, because I think is there another big contender for that?
There aren't really any stealth PvP game. You could say like what was it called? Prop Hunt. You could call that a stealth PvP game. I'd say.
That's more of a hide and
Um,
seek mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, isn't that really what a stealth PvP mode is, right? When you think
Yeah.
By
about
the
it.
by the
But-
widest of the definitions, yes. But I'd say the objective in like in prop hunt, you're designed to lose as a prop, while in Splinter Cell, both sides have winning conditions, and if you fulfill them, you win.
Yeah, like
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. I would say you can win as a prop. Maybe like the implementations we've had so far aren't really as interesting. I think the formula could need like more objectives, but that would also make it harder to understand. Because like in the way it is now, it's just someone is looking for you. They are looking for any object in the map that may or may not be actually a human, and that is a very simple concept to understand. But like you said, I wouldn't say it's designed for you to lose as a prop, because you both sides can win. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you guys kind of know I enjoy certain stuff because I objectively just think it's interesting or like cool or unique, you know.
Yeah.
I think like Alex, sometimes feel like you don't really give a shit about that as much because you prefer just if you feel like you're having fun.
Yeah, in games definitely. I would say in anime I can be or in other mediums I can be a bit more experimental because it's just a story. But in games it's really about the way I feel when I play the game.
Yeah. No, I get that. It's just I strive to be a game developer, and I was always fascinated with analyzing games. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
just at some point it's the same for me with like board games. That's why Dune, the board game, is my favorite board game of all time. Because it just leads to so many different and interesting situations and just sessions. I guess I don't know. I love interesting design.
I'm just not that analytical when it comes to games. Like when it's a great game that I enjoy, after really checking it out, you know, after getting in the mood to actually playing it, I can see the analytical side, but it takes me. It's not like the first thing I see when I play a game. Like
Yeah.
for example, in Elden Ring, like I can name you a few like interesting game design choices that they made that I also noticed, but it's not that I'm looking for it actively.
You're not going in with like trying to analyze what you're playing.
Yeah. I'm just testing the waters, getting to feel the game on a spiritual.
I don't know. I just want to clarify for the viewers that I'm not saying my way of playing or Alex's way of playing is in any way better or superior than the other way. I'm just saying we have a very different approach to how we play games, and that's why we view some things differently. And in the end, isn't that why art is so interesting?
That's right.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Because I read some stuff this week.
I watched one stuff this week.
Okay, then
One
let's start.
stuff.
One stuff.
Is stuff
One
not
thing.
plural?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
What did you watch, Stevie?
I started watching the Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
Oh.
Did you watch that already, Benny?
I watched a few episodes of it. I haven't finished it, to be honest. Like I got to the point where I was like, yeah, this is very intriguing, and I never kept going. Not because there is any reason that I found it was not worth pursuing, but I don't know. I just didn't get to it yet.
I recommended it to you.
Yes, I know. Because you know I like chess a lot, and everything chess related.
It's like my
should be
favorite
fun.
series that is not an anime.
You never watched it.
Yeah, I'm just trolling.
Okay.
But I knew it. You liked it because I've heard so much great stuff about it, and you love chess.
Yes, that is true. It's about a woman in the 1960s. It's like it starts out with this girl who's an orphan, and she gets to play chess with a janitor at the orphanage, and she is exceptionally talented at the game. So the janitor like invites a high school teacher, leader of a chess club or something, and he further proves that she's amazing at the game. And once she gets out of the orphanage, adopted by her parents, she like becomes really big in the chess world, unheard of for a woman at the time. That's how far I got now.
I'm a commit misogyny.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that, because I think that series is very focused also on the misogyny of like chess, not only at the time, but it's just as much a problem nowadays, or like not even just chess, but like generally when it comes to sports and similar stuff. Tightly knit communities that are typically
Male oriented.
male centric are no, like gaming is just the same with like Gamergate and stuff. It's I think it's really disencouraging for some women to get into hobbies like these, because some people are just like make it shit for them for no goddamn reason.
It just makes me think of all the LOL players memes that just lose their shit when they touch a woman.
I recently watched a very fun series by Edit Benji here. Her name is Kayla. So her videos, there's a video series from her called Women Valorant, the women experience.
The female experience. Yeah,
the
I watched
female
that
experience. Yeah, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it is.
But also like so goddamn pathetic how what people are like once they notice a woman in the lobby.
I've heard horrible stuff in shooter games, especially also in Overwatch. There was a huge problem with that. I've heard.
Yeah, we all are not women. We can't really comment, I guess, on how it feels like.
I don't want to get too political here. It's just I feel like you can have an opinion. It's just like you can never truly relate. But I think even for men, like to speak out against stuff should be okay.
Definitely.
It's just like you saying you shouldn't have opinion about that because you're not a woman. I think is wrong. I think you should try to empathize with all the points and then create, like with everything, even though you're not related. Because
definitely, I do agree with that. Maybe I misrepresented what I was trying to say. Like, definitely you should have an opinion on that, and I hope you have a good one. But
you better have a good one.
It's pretty much like you said before. We as men, we can have an opinion, but we cannot really truly relate, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to attack you or anything.
No, definitely. You can point out when I make mistakes. That's completely fine. It's a good part of our friendship, and that's why I respect you.
I looked into it, and it's actually not based on a real story, because I thought it was at the beginning.
Oh, me too.
Okay, I thought as well.
It's based on a novel.
Yeah.
Is the novel based on a true story?
No, like the woman that's depicted in the novel does not exist.
Okay.
There is a woman that had like a similar story, but it's fictional.
Well, but if there is a woman that has a similar story, isn't it based on that woman?
I guess there's like a difference in saying
like it being
based
a
on
coincidence.
a real story.
Well, isn't it based on?
It's not even like inspired by that woman. It's just a coincidence.
Oh, that I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't look that much into it.
But I think if you say it's based on the true story, then you still have like creative freedom to change it with fiction, I think. Otherwise, it's just a documentary, right? With a documentary in a form with actors.
Well, yeah, but I would argue that there is a point of like this is just changing the story for drama and interest and not making it about the real story anymore. And there's a difference in saying like this is inspired by a real story and basing it on a real story. I think it's like you said, where you have a certain amount of creative freedom, but I, as a viewer, if you tell me that something is based on a real story and then you shift the whole important part of the story into something different, then I'm like, okay, but is it really though?
Have you watched the Queens film that was
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. Thank you.
I watched it. I watched it like when it came out in cinemas.
Is that based on a true story for you, or is that like inspired by a true story? Because in theory, it's the story of Freddie Mercury and Queen, but they changed up quite a bit for dramatic effect. Some details quite a bit for dramatic effect.
Could you name me an example?
Oh wait, it's I just knew that people have problems with it. Like people Queen fans got triggered, but I don't remember quite what the difference were.
Does that include you as well?
No, like I don't. I'm not that big of a Queen fan that I actually know the whole story in and out.
Okay.
As far as I remember, people got a bit upset that because like the film depicts Freddy as someone who is very like he has a very strong personality, but also is like very stubborn, I guess. Like what people especially took issue with was that in the film, all of his bandmates are like they're the ones with like a family and they're kind of like being responsible, I guess. And Freddy's the only one that behaves like a crazy fucking rock star that just does drugs all day. And, like people took issue to that because they're like, because like the ones that made the movie are the other surviving bandmates, and they were like, I mean, you're only depicting Freddy as this crazy dude that does all of these irresponsible things while you're being the good ones in the movie, I guess. Because like it depicts Freddy as this asshole that kind of fucks over his band, but kind of gets a redemption later on. And I don't know how much of that is actually true or like
I know
increased
it's
for dramatic effect. So I can't really say if it's like based on a true story. They say it's based on a true story, but I don't know how much of it is true. And does that kind of answer your question, Alex?
Yeah. Okay, I get you.
Because like there are some movies where they say it's based on a true story, but like there are maybe like two details in the whole movie that are the same as the story.
Yeah. That's why my interpretation of based on the true story was that it had elements from that story in it, but yeah, per definition, it should be like at least 90% similar, I think.
It's been a big point of discussion how much creative freedom you should really be able to have. That's a weird fucking sentence.
No, it's
but
correct.
yeah,
It's
no,
correct.
I get your question.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Queen's Gambit. It's really interesting. I haven't finished it yet.
I was surprised that Stevie hasn't heard of it before I recommended it.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I learned of it like almost at the same time when you told me. Like the day after, I clicked on a YouTube video and they talked about it.
Oh, okay.
Then they mentioned it.
So
Not
it was
talked about
already destined, a match made in
Yes.
heaven.
A match made in heaven.
When did Alex recommend you the series?
2 weeks ago, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, interesting. Okay, because I watched it longer. I think like half a year ago.
Yeah, I knew of it since when it released, it made some pretty huge headlines. So
Yeah, it was very well received by people.
yeah,
Alex, did you watch or
Oh, yeah.
read anything this week?
I watched the third season of Demon Slayer, and it changed my whole opinion of Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Because I thought of Demon Slayer as a average shonen. I think I would give the first season I would give like a 7 out of 10, and the movie, I think the movie
even with the animation, you would give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think it's super boring except for the animation. I think it's way worse than Jujutsu Kaisen. That's just my opinion. I don't want to offend anyone because I know people can get really heated about this. But I think the main cast of characters, they really lack the backstory or character motivation. Because the whole family of Tanjiro in the first episode had as much character screen time as Aaron's mother in Attack on Titan. Only that Aaron's mother isn't like a focal plot point later on. Like, at least not until the second season, because I only watched that far. But Tanjiro and Demon Slayer keep bringing up the family and the trauma that Tanjiro suffered, but we haven't really gotten attached to the family at all. So
yeah, it's for you. It's just like
it's really
these
shallow.
Side characters died.
Yeah, and people praised the episode 19 because the villain was also relatable, and the animation naturally, like Ufotable did an amazing job on the animation. Not saying that, but like the problem with Demon Slayer is that if the character isn't super interesting per se, they try to save it with a flashback, but they reserve the flashback after the fight. Because basically how Demon Slayer works is after you defeat a demon, you can see their past. Like that's how the flashbacks work. And so you only see the story of the character after they've been defeated. So during the whole fighting sequence, which mind you lasts for 5 episodes, at the end of it you get the flashback. So at the end the stakes are presented, you know. So that kind of fucks up the stakes of the whole fight, because you can't really relate to the main trio. And the villains are just villains until they have the backstory, but that takes a bit, you know, that after they receive the backstory, the fight is already over, so what's the point? That's my opinion of the first season. Then the film dropped. I've watched the film now after 1 year, I think. And this is the best-selling film, the best-selling anime film of all time. This sold more.
The Mugen Train, or
Mugen
what
Train
was it
arc.
The
called?
Mugen Train arc even outperformed Kimi no Na wa.
Ooh, crazy.
Yeah, crazy numbers. And I fell asleep almost. Like it was such a boring arc. People only remember the last 20 minutes of that film, because the last 20 minutes actually are good, because they finally present a danger to this world, because like I don't want. Can I spoil it? Because
I mean, I don't particularly care. We should
watched
definitely
it.
like put in a spoiler warning.
Okay,
for
putting in a
people.
spoiler warning.
Go to 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 25 seconds to not listen to spoiler.
Okay. So yeah, after signing the spoiler warning, I'm gonna go ahead. So in Demon Slayer, you have the main the main group of you could say they are the Hokage of the Demon Slayer world. Basically,
Okay.
the most powerful, and then you have the most powerful demons. There are 11 of them.
12.
And no, I think there are 11. Oh, 12?
I think there are 12. Whatever.
I think there are 11. Either way, it after that's also a reason why I really hated the first the first season, because in the first season, one of the 11 top demons, or the worst of them, to be fair, just gets one-shotted by a Hashira, which are the Hokage, Hokage of the Demon Slayer world. So basically, they have no point. Like, they are already inferior to the Hashira. But then in the Mugen Train arc, finally, we see one of the top demons in the top 3, and he basically not one-shots, but he kills a Hashira, and he is one of the more powerful Hashira. And finally, we understand that the difference between the top 6 demons and the 11th one that basically got one-shotted is so huge that we can't really fathom it. So there's actually a danger in this world now. And we lost one of the most important people in the story. So we have some tension, we have something to lose for the main characters. And season 3 really put the effort in.
Just a sec. You watched
Yeah?
the season of, like, the series of the Mugen Train arc, not the movie.
Yeah,
right?
it's the same.
Oh, so like the movie is just a season from the series, or?
No,
So
the movie came
basically,
out first.
they made this movie.
Yeah.
And that's why it sold so much, because normally if you do a shonen movie, you just proceed to make a filler arc.
Yeah, you
and
make it a filler movie, like
Yeah,
all of the One Piece movies.
all
pretty
of the
much.
One Piece movie. But what they did with this film is they actually adapted an arc of the manga and actually killed someone off for once.
Oh, okay.
So
Because I was about to ask if the whole thing was canon in the first place.
No,
or, like...
it was canon. It was an arc, and afterwards they adapted it into. Basically, they split it into parts, put an intro before and after it, and added I think 1 or 2 scenes, and made it into a season so seasonal watchers could catch up with the film. And after that, they proceeded to make the third season, which finally took advantage of the tension that was built up during the movie, and finally did some interesting fights. They had an interesting villain, where we discovered the backstory, keep in mind, at the end. But the villain was interesting enough, in my opinion, that even without the backstory, the personality traits of the villain just were great. And you really could relate to the villain, even though you didn't know the backstory, which speaks a lot for a series who only relied on flashbacks till now. And the fights were fucking gorgeous, full of tension, and we got to see finally Tanjiro do something. I don't want to spoil it also because Stevie hasn't watched it, but finally Tanjiro did something and showed us he's also a force to be reckoned with. And
Tanjiro's the main character, right?
Tanjiro is the main character.
Okay.
And we have the most likable character, the most likable Hashira of all of them, in my opinion, in the third season. So just having likable characters on the good part and on the bad part, while having tension and this fear that someone might die that you really root for, that's what makes shonen, in my opinion, great. Couple that with a gorgeous animation, probably the most gorgeous animation I've seen in shonen. Maybe ever. Really, really gorgeous scenes. I've never seen Sakuga spread out for 10 episodes straight. Ufotable is known for Fates the Night unlimited budget works, but I think after Demon Slayer they about to change the title. So
Budget Slayer.
Yeah, Budget Slayer. I don't think there's one shonen that comes to mind that has as good of an animation. Maybe Mob Psycho. Yeah, I thought about Mob Psycho, but Mob Psycho isn't that packed with action scenes throughout the whole series, so it only gets hyped for about like 5 minutes, and then there's like calm moments. But like Demon Slayer's plot is action throughout the series. Basically, it tells the story through action. So having that coupled with animation as good as Mob Psycho's just elevates it, I think, in my opinion, even above Mob Psycho.
You like it more?
I think so. I don't like the individual parts. I think I still love the artistic flares of Mob Psycho more, because they did more with the animation looks cooler in Mob Psycho because they did something with the art style and the way they colored it with like more watercolory styles, while Ufotable just pulled an After Effects on us, but it just looks amazing.
Basically, what I'm getting from you is that you're saying kind of Mob Psycho has more of an interesting style, while Demon Slayer is just artistry to like the max.
Yeah, I think it's like Demon Slayer as a whole. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but what it does is it perfects it. Just like the animation does. Like, it doesn't really reinvent the wheel. They pulled out the Fate team and cracked that animation to 100.
I see.
There's a big controversy because Demon Slayer Season 1 won animation of the decade, which I don't think... I think that is a bit too much. Like, I think you should consider the artistic risks, the artistic talents, maybe for something like One Punch Man. I think One Punch Man is my animation of the decade, because if you analyze One Punch Man's animation, they pulled the best freelancers from the industry to all put their own spin on it. Not one.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety in that series.
Yeah, like not one rock is animated the same after like crumbling in One Punch Man from one episode to the other. That's like how much detail there is and how much variety in animation there is.
I'm still so sad that they fucked up season 2 so much.
Yeah. I think that because it wasn't Madhouse anymore, right?
Yeah,
because
it was a different studio.
Because One Punch Man season 1 was done by Madhouse, but Madhouse stuff only was about, I think, 50%, and the rest were all freelancers all masters of their craft. There's a really really good video by this one YouTuber. I think it's called the C effect or something. I always forget its name. It was like the Kalipa effect or something.
The Kalipa effect.
The Kanipa effect.
Kanipa.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. So yeah, he was the one that does studio spotlights and also did a spotlight on Madhouse.
Very highly produced videos from that dude.
Yeah, insane videos from him. I love his videos.
Insane production value.
You should check him out. Super cool videos. He did one on Arcane as well.
I still need to watch that. I forgot.
Me too.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised because like you said, every time we talked about it, you seemed very on it.
Yeah, I was surprised too. Like I had that void in me when I finished Demon Slayer, like the void that you have when you watch good fucking series. And that I would have never guessed that happens. Like that would happen from watching season 3 of Demon Slayer. Like I struggled.
Oh, you meant like after watching seasons 3, you had the void.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like a bit confused.
No, after watching season 3, like after because I ended season 2 and it took me a whole week just to motivate myself to continue because I never thought it would make me feel this way. I thought, it's just another 7 out of 10 shonen. But it really changed my mind during season 3. So I highly recommend that. If you have watched Demon Slayer already and you weren't really impressed, because I know some of you are out there, like Stevie, me, and my brother as well. He wasn't really impressed with that until he started Mugen Train Arc like I did. And it changed our minds. So just go check that out. And I think out of 10, because I told you I would give like the first season and the second 7 out of 10. I think for the third season it's a solid 9 out of 10.
When you say like 7 out of 10, is it more like the story itself makes it like a 6 out of 10 and only the animation elevates it to a 7? Okay, I see.
Like the animation is a solid, like I think the story is a 5.5 and the animation is a 9.
Okay.
And I add them together and it's a 7 out of 10 because it's just a feast for the eyes but nothing else.
I see. Yeah, was that everything or was there anything else you watched this week?
I watched
or read?
I think we had 3 weeks, right?
We had a lot of time since last.
So I need to remember what I already talked about and what I did. I already talk about me watching Sonobiska.
You talked about that.
But I only talked about like what I thought about the manga because I didn't watch it at that time.
Okay, so before we do that, can I talk about what I thought about the manga?
Oh, you read it?
Yeah, a few days ago, I started reading the my dress up doll manga. Because like I told you guys that I wasn't really interested in it from the clips I saw.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a bit, I don't know. It was very not cringe, but like it was very focused on like this main character, which I had. The clips made me think he was a bit of a wimp and like a typical main character that goes nowhere. But then I started reading like a few chapters of the manga and I was really impressed by both of the characters actually. Because I thought she was a good character, but he would be like uninteresting as fuck. But no, it turns out both of them are very, very well written characters.
Yeah.
And I don't wait, I need to check how much I read, but like I read pretty far already in like one evening. I read I think like 50 chapters almost.
Or you read it
Oh,
recently?
Yeah, like 4 days ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not a bad character, and he's not a wimp. He's just awkward.
Yeah. 33 chapters. I'm on chapter 34.
Oh, nice. I recommend the anime though above the manga, in my opinion. But yeah, keep on.
Gigak already said in his video that like it's really refreshing to finally have like a female character with fucking agency, I guess, because she's the character that does most of the stuff in the series. I don't know, she like pushes the guy way more than he does her, and I really enjoy that because I don't know, usually it's like both of them are never doing anything and anything always just happens by coincidence. And in this case, you have like a very outgoing female character that is really fun from a writing perspective, and also just
Yeah.
generally she's a very fun character. And her like interacting with the main guy, making him also like he's an interesting character because he is very different from her in how they grew up and what they like to do, but there's still so many parallels between them because they're
Yeah.
very artistic people and they share that love for artistry in different ways, and they discover this love for cosplaying together. And no, I was really impressed because I really didn't expect I would like this. The show is still very horny, but it's like the kind of horny I don't really mind. I don't know, it's kind of conscious of it. Do you understand what I mean?
No,
by that?
yeah, I think it feels much more natural than other ecchi anime.
Yeah, exactly. Because on one hand, there are still like a lot of jokes where like she's not aware how much she's teasing him, but there's also just this conscious awkwardness. And like there's a lot of awkwardness in other series, but for the most part it's like completely unjustified, where like the character gets like blushes for every single fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, the girl looks at him and he would get a boner. But like with this, it's like she's literally undressing in front of him and not aware that like, because he needs to like take her measurements
Yeah.
to do the cosplay. And I don't know, it's still very horny, and I'm kind of okay with it for once, because sometimes they're very horny and I'm just like, I can't fucking read this.
Yeah, I think you have the same mindset, or you can correct me if you don't, but I think if I had a graph for like ecchi in anime and manga, like or general yeah, or either way, if I had a graph to point out what I consider good ecchi and bad ecchi, then like at the very top there would be ecchi that actually makes sense, adds to the story or the character. I think that's okay. Like in Sonobika,
Yeah.
I think that is part of her character. So I think that adds something. It's not unnecessary. Then
Because
there's
I think another example would be for me where that, for example, is a series where I'm like, there is ecchi in there, and I'm like, no, do we really need this? I don't know. Because
In
like,
Grand
as
Blue?
funny as I think that series is, sometimes I just think it's too much or it's unnecessary for there to be nudity. The same goes for like Kill la Kill, where like there is a lot of like nudity, and I'm like, why? Why does this need to be there? I just want some cool fucking fights.
wait, in
think
Grand Blue, in Grand Blue, you think it's a great example of good ecchi or a bad
No,
example?
it's a not a bad example, but it's also like
Oh,
Grand
no,
Blue is not
I
really
think
extreme with it, but I also think that it's unnecessary there, for example.
Oh no, I think Grand Blue is a great example in my
too.
opinion.
I fucking
Because I think
I
it-
laughed out loud the first
Yeah,
the first
because the
time I saw
ecchi
people
isn't
reacting.
really used as like to make you horny. It's the ecchi is used to make a joke out of it. So I'm okay
Yeah.
with that because it adds again. It adds. I think
Yeah,
the second tier of etchiness is like just ecchi because you want the show to be ecchi, but like it has no other purpose of it. You know, like if you watch a ecchi harem, you're getting ecchi because you're watching a ecchi harem. But the worst
Yeah.
kind of ecchi, in my opinion, like that's under that, is the ecchi that actively interrupts the story and doesn't add anything other than a panty shot.
Like it distracts you.
Like in
Yeah.
Darling in the Franxx or Code Geass. Like, I can't stand that kind of
I
ecchi.
hate it in Code Geass. I hate it so much.
It has no point. Like, you know what? You know what they should have done in One Piece? In One Piece, sorry. In Code Geass.
One Piece.
In Code Geass, Lulu should have just, boned everyone so that the ecchi made sense. Like, at least do that. At least make it a part of his character or something. Don't throw it in there just for the views. Come on. I hated that. And in
Yeah.
Darling in the Franxx, it's even more obnoxious, in my opinion. It's even more
But
in your
maybe
face.
let me clarify what I meant by the Grand Blue example.
Yeah.
I see it this way, that Grand Blue is a very tasteful example, but it still kind of bothers me in Grand Blue. While in my dress up doll Darling, it doesn't really bother me as much. Is kind of my point. But yeah, I do understand what you're saying, that in Grand Blue they at least like use it for jokes and stuff that aren't
Yeah,
just you saw me naked, let me kill you.
I think that's then more a matter of taste than like.
Yeah.
Do you-
probably?
Benny,
Because-
have you experienced a like perfect ecchi? If you say that Dress Up Darling isn't like good.
No, he's saying.
No, I'm saying Dress Up Darling is the best example I've seen so far.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think Dress Up Darling would be the best ecchi I've seen so far, I think. What does bother me though? There are two characters in the series. In the manga, I don't know if they're in the anime. One of them is a high school girl and she looks like a fucking grade schooler.
Yeah, the sisters.
And her sister is a fucking middle schooler and looks like 21 or something, and she's like obviously like big tits and whatever, and it's like why did we need a middle schooler with big tits and a high schooler that looks like a grade schooler? Like, why was that a thing we needed?
To be fair, the high schooler that looks like a grade schooler, I don't think that's like a bad thing to add, because that's realistic. Like, there are people in high school that still look small. Like, I know people that look like a grade schooler and generally have a problem or a complex with it. Like, that's realistic. I don't get the huge tits on the middle schooler though. Like, I'm with you.
I'm generally, the fact that she is a middle schooler is what bothers me so much. With a high school girl, I can see it at least. That it kind of but it makes it so much weirder that he's a high schooler and there's like this middle schooler that hangs out with him. I don't know. It's still
Like,
kind of weird.
like we do with. It all comes back. No.
It all comes back. But yeah, no, I don't know. I just found it unnecessary. Even though I really like the two characters, I think they really add to the story. But since it is like an ecchi story that does sexualize both of them, I'm like, I don't know. They're good characters though.
Yeah.
At least that.
Because I've read the manga, I think 1.5 years ago, and I really didn't think it would blow up, and it really didn't stay in my memory that well, because it was just one of those mangas that I found on my anime list while scrolling down, and I thought, yeah, let's give it a try. But after rereading it, I can see why it blew up. Like, it made sense.
No, I definitely understand its popularity now.
I think another manga that will blow up, because it's I think has the same
Potential.
yeah, thank you, is, I don't know if you've read that, Benny, because you're into those kinds of series, but let me just check if I found
I think you talked about it recently. I just can't remember the name.
It's called is it My Girlfriend Can't Be This Cute?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You talked about it recently. It's not.
That girl is not just cute. Yeah, that's the title.
It's the one where like the girlfriend is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like really not heroic. What would you call it? She's like very
Masculine. or
I wouldn't even say she's masculine, but she has a lot of the traits that usually are used for masculine characters that
Yeah.
are supposed to be like cool or
She has the pants on in the relationship.
yeah.
But I think it's that kind of falls more into Komi territory, I think, than in Sonobiskeva, because it's just a unique female lead, and the male lead is maybe a bit boring.
Yeah,
boring side.
that's what I kind of had issue with, because I actually did read a few chapters of that manga, but like the main character is, because like at least with Komi you can say that Tadano is a very uninteresting main character, and I can see that, but at least he has some semblance of personality, I guess, and how he interacts with the other characters still makes for interesting situations, because Tadano, especially at the start, is a very uninteresting main, like very generic self-insert character, but I would say he develops a very unique, not a very unique, but at least a unique personality. I mean, what do you think, Alex?
Yeah,
or like Stevie as well? You read Komi, right?
Yeah,
right.
I'm like still catching up. Yeah, like I can only agree, really. I don't have anything much else to add.
I think there are like two ways to write a male leads in those kind of anime. I'm surprised that the anime community hasn't like given the genre a name already, like with isekai and stuff like that. Just call it like girlfriend manga, or like best girl anime or stuff like that. Like those very centric characters are more around the female lead. Stories like you have with Komi-san, you have with Sonobisque, I think with Kaguya to an extent, and while
I would argue though that we've had these for a long time, because like it
Yeah.
used to be like rom-coms where like the male character would be the kind of, you have a very generic female lead and you have interesting male characters, and like now we have like male characters and it's not even a new thing, I'd say. Like,
no. But isekai isn't a new thing either. We had isekais in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's just that it got popularized. So I think it's time for a new, name for the genre.
I don't know. I don't think it really needs one, because it's like, it's romance. It's a rom-com in the end.
Yeah,
and you don't see the need
it's
to that.
it's very different from shoujo rom-coms from the early 2010s.
Yeah, definitely. But like, I think it would still be the same genre.
Well,
Even
isekai
though
is just
there's a big
fantasy.
style change.
It's just if isekai is just action fantasy, and slice of life. Yeah, okay, slice of life. I get that. In theory, there's not even the need for shonen or shoujo. It's just, it surprises me because the anime community, or in Japan, because the terms are coming from the Japanese anime community, I think. So
Really?
I think so. Like at least with
okay.
shonen and shoujo, that comes from the Japanese side. I don't know.
Well,
with
yeah,
these...
okay, but that kind of makes sense, because it's the typical thing, like
Yeah.
where series are typically considered to be made for a female or male audience, respectively.
But it's still a genre in that sense, because it's a mix between action adventure and maybe fantasy, but mainly action adventure. It's just a collective of action adventure. Either way, coming back to the topic. I think there are two types of ways you can write a male lead in those situations. Either a male lead that the contrasts contrasts and is an interesting character overall, where you can focus on him and the female leads at the same time, where you watch the story for both and it just evolves with both. I think an example would be Kaguya and Sonobisque. But you can also write a male character that is more passive and just tries to bring out the best things about the female lead. I think that's what happened with that girl is not just cute, and with Komi-san, in my opinion. Like you don't read Komi-san essentially just for the main character. You mainly read it for Komi-san. But with Kaguya, you really also read it for Shirogane. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you read it for both of them.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. I can see that. Yeah.
But at the same time, Kaguya's wife was fucked, so she's also in that category in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's I think I haven't read or watched anything since. I've tried what's that other series? Fuck, with the elementary school kids and she's teasing him.
Takagi-san?
Takagi-san. I always try to get into Takagi-san, and I watch some episodes and I like it, and then I just don't continue anymore, and I wait for 2 months, and then I rewatch 2 episodes, and then I abandon it again because I remember there's other stuff I can watch.
Yeah, the problem with Takagi-san, because like I've been reading the manga for forever now. The problem with Takagi-san is that the formula is very
repetitive.
Yeah, once you've read 10 chapters, you pretty much read all of Takagi-san.
Just watch it and turn your brain off and and it is okay to rewatch the same episode over and over. It's just literally a brain fart that you watch, and it's okay. It goes for that. Like, it's just cute.
Yeah.
You like it. You had a hard day at work. We know it.
But then, it's comfort food.
Yeah, but I was watching Takagi-san, and then I remembered that I still had to watch Haikyuu. So now I'm watching Haikyuu.
How far are you with that?
Oh, I'm only 4 episodes in. So because Haikyuu is a series that I couldn't really binge. I felt like it was a sports anime, and everybody kept praising it and saying it was good until like season 2. And what I do nowadays with shows like that, where I have trouble just watching it and getting really invested in it, I just and people saying you really will get invested after watching like the first season. Or after watching the second season, I'm sorry, in that case. I just pick up 1 episode a day, like during a hard work day. And that's just to cool off my brain, because there's nothing that happens too much and that I really can get invested in it. And then when the weekend hits, I hopefully arrive at the interesting part, and then I get hooked, and then I can watch like 10 episodes. That's how I watched Demon Slayer, for example. It's just when I'm not interested in a show or not that interested in a show, then that's okay for me. I just have to turn off my brain, and that's how I keep
wait until it gets good.
Yeah, and wait until it gets good. But at the same time, I can just shut off. But if the show is too good, then I can relax. I'm too invested to relax. Like, I just have to watch it, you know.
So you can't watch a too good show unless you have a couple of days of freedom for coming.
Yeah,
up.
because I can't just watch 1 episode. Like, I couldn't watch 1 episode of season 3's Demon Slayer. I had to watch the whole thing, and thankfully it was a Sunday, because if it would have been a Sunday morning, because if it would have been in the evening, then God forbid, I don't know if I would have shown up to work the next day.
Yeah, no, I get that. For me, it's a bit different, but I understand it. So I'm gonna talk about something I've just recently picked up. Literally, also 3 days ago. I think I read Dress Up Darling 5 or 6 days ago, and 2 days after, I'm pretty sure, I read a webtoon, actually, called Let's Play, which sounds incredibly generic.
I know exactly when that happens, because you send a picture in the WhatsApp group about another webtoon about paying taxes or something, right?
Could be. I definitely sent like a screenshot, but the thing is, you know that this is a very rare thing to happen. Maybe Alex, you may know this. Sometimes you like click on something generic, in the hopes of finding something that is incredibly generic and not unique
Original.
at all, but at least it's like entertaining.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some manga fast food, some webtoon fast food. So
Yeah,
I clicked on this, I clicked on this webtoon called Let's Play, and there's like a woman on the cover and like two guys that are like trying to get her attention, you know, typical like harem shit. And I'm like, whatever, let's check it out. And you know the feeling when you like click on something that generic and find out it's actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't know.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, I'm invested now. I cannot. I spent I think 7 hours straight reading 150 chapters of this webtoon because it's actually pretty decent. Like at the end, it kind of like gets a bit less interesting, but what I really like about it. So to give you a general overview of the plot, there's this woman. She's a hobbyist game developer, works at an IT company that is owned by her dad, and she's kind of she likes the job, but it's really her dream of like to become a game developer. But she knows how saturated the market is. Like, it's actually pretty in depth. Like it seems like the person that wrote this has a bit of knowledge about the gaming industry, and then there's like this very generic premise of a YouTuber makes a review of her game, thinks it's absolute dog shit, but gives
I
her
think
like
I know this one.
he like gives her actually pretty good advice. It's not like he just bashes her game. That's not the point. He's actually like kind of nice about it. But what happens is that his viewership destroy her game's rating, and with that also her like her developer rating on this website that is kind of a Steam equivalent. And of course, he moves in by a coincidence right next to her.
I know this one. I've heard from from a YouTuber.
That's interesting. What did you hear about it?
No, I heard
him?
it's. I think it was. I don't know if it was the Anime Man or something like that, but I think I've heard of this premise. But it could also be. No,
Like,
I remember
like
because he moved
generic.
in with her, or in the room next to her. Yeah, I remember.
And you know, like going into that, and it's this like the first chapter. I'm like, okay, so like this guy obviously like she doesn't like him from the start, but they're like gonna fall in love, and there's probably gonna be some rival character because obviously like her department boss is like super fucking hot. He's like this this blonde Welshman.
Who's called Link?
Who's no. Link is her coworker.
Oh,
He's also
okay.
very hot. That's like the third love interest.
Okay.
So like you already see like from the premise this is like looking very.
It's the third.
It's like this premise is also like it's very kind of trashy romance thing from this get-go, and like but like once you get into it and like start reading into this, it's like the characters have really good depth. There's a lot of variety in characters, a lot of body type variety as well, because like there's her co-worker and he's like this I think Indian kind of more on the fat side dude, and you're like, okay, this is like obviously gonna be this coworker who's really nice to her, but I don't know, he's just gonna be a background character or like not gonna be interesting at all. No, this dude is like the best fucking bro you can ever imagine. He like he like helps her out every step of the way, and there's like he's not there because he's like into her or anything. He's just literally a good friend and a good coworker. And I'm like, thank you. This is great. And also like with all of the other characters where you kind of expect them to be a certain way or like fulfill this trope of a character, because there's the other woman character who like you think at the start is her rival, who's like this beauty YouTuber who's together with the YouTuber guy, and you're gonna think, okay, like they're obviously like gonna fight each other for the dude or something. No, she's his girlfriend at the moment, but there's this problem of like she wants an actual relationship with him openly, while he's afraid that if they go public, viewers would like bash her and like destroy her reputation or something. So he's really afraid of like admitting that they're together, even though they have a very like their relationship is an actually good adult relationship. They speak about their problems to each other. They're like they're intimate with each other, and like all of the good things. And I'm like, wait, is this trashy fucking romance thing actually depicting what a good relationship should be like? And no one is just a fucking trashy character and stuff happens for no fucking reason and because nobody talks to each other? And yeah, it's exactly that. It's fucking amazing. I was so surprised by it, and I was so
no
happy.
wonder I've heard from it. It's like in the top 5 of Webtoon mangas. Or
I've never seen
Webtoons.
it before, but I was so, I don't know. This just like there was this moment where I was so happy with the series, where like this has restored faith in humanity for me, that people can actually write adult characters that make goddamn sense. Because like no one in this series has any weird like misunderstandings or like stuff that causes drama. And even like at one point there's this joke of like the character turning to the camera and being like, wait, no, like one character is like, wait, you believe me? And the character's like, yeah, of course. This is not some kind of weird fucking drama where this is getting stretched for 3 episodes straight because I misunderstood something that happened. And it's like, exactly, thank you. And I don't know, I was very surprised how much development there also is without any like unnecessary drama. There is some stuff I don't really like 100% because the female character, the main character, she kind of starts out being this not unsociable, but she's like, obviously she has a problem with like social anxiety, and she is quite beautiful because obviously she's like the main character, but she like dresses very gamer style, you know, like very
It's the glasses girl,
baggy
right?
clothes and stuff. And like throughout the series, they're like, one of the characters is trying to build up her confidence, which generally is like good, but it also like comes with this idea of she dresses more sexy throughout the series, I guess, and like not in what she would be comfortable with before. And like while I do kind of get what they're going for, I don't think it's a very good message to give people that like confidence comes with dressing sexy, or that you should always feel necessary to like make yourself attractive, or not just wear the clothes you want. I don't know, there's some part in that I don't necessarily agree with, but overall the story is very well written and all of the characters act like fucking people. And it's also like, I was expecting a bit of sexy. There was no real sexy for the most part, unless we like we get to some point where it starts being like sexy, I guess.
The way you
At that
described
point,
it.
we've already like
Your word choice is
established.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. I was expecting a bit of sexy.
I was expecting a bit of sexy, but there was no sexy for the most part.
It was a bit more than a bit too sexy.
More than a bit. But you know, like at that point we have like at the point where it started also like being about sex, and because like the main character, obviously she's a virgin, but it also tackles a lot of the insecurities that come with being a virgin, and especially at her age where like all of the other people are like experienced, and she has like a certain amount of anxiety and like insecurities about it. And I don't know how well it is represented, because I could really judge that, but I don't know, you know, it's all of the sexy stuff wasn't just like to make a joke or anything. It was really about these characters are actually emotionally invested in each other, and I can understand it, you know?
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know.
it looks great. I might check it out.
I
sounds
really
really good.
recommend it to you.
Yeah, because I think I've seen this a lot. Now that I've seen the artwork of it, I've seen this while scrolling through Webtoons, because it's quite high on the ranking, and it looks quite interesting. I think Webtoons in general has some really surprising and interesting ideas. It's just that they're not that talked about in the manga community and anime community, I think, because Webtoons has a dedicated community. It's just that I feel we're not in the right circle, strangely, because it feels pretty interesting to manga, but we're just not in the right circle to hear enough about it, because if you scroll, like I've read 3-4 things on Webtoon that were really great so far. The ideas are totally different from like ideas you'll get from the Japanese or Korean side of it, or just the Asian room of it. Even though most of them come from Asia, I don't know. Webtoons just has a different approach of telling a story. They follow much less stereotypical usage of characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's more original, I feel. So every time I go on Webtoons, I find Webtoons that just are a breath of fresh air. For example, I don't know if I talked about one of my favorite shows I've seen on Webtoons is this one show with this blonde girl that is head over heels with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend also loves her, but he loves her a bit too much. He's like overprotective, and he what? What did you say, Stevie?
I wanted to ask if it was obsession, but you already answered my question.
Yeah,
so.
he loves her a bit too much. He's like a male yandere, and he's a serial killer. And the whole, and it's very interesting because the first 5 chapters are just standard rom-com, because you see it through the lens of the female main character. Because his goal is to avoid at all costs not only getting caught, but especially getting caught from her, because he wants to keep up the farce. But for example, there's this one guy that disrespects her on the street, and he just straight up murders him in the next episode. Yeah. Or there's I think the plot twist comes around in like chapter 5, where sees this kitten and she really loves that kitten, and then the kitten bites her a bit, and then he fucking murders the kitten. and you're like, holy shit, what happened? And it's like it's a super interesting premise where he messes up sometimes and he has to do the impossible to not get caught, while you're also rooting for the girl to finally find out about him and just
like get rid of him. Yeah,
and get rid of him. It's not like a great read, but like it's not a read you just read for comfort. It's a read you read like you would read wait, what was that other webtoon called? I forgot that, with the father that kills, that really famous
what?
one, Bastard.
Oh, I don't know that one. I haven't read it.
Oh, you haven't read Bastard?
No.
I have never heard of it.
You've never heard of it? It's like one of the most famous webtoons.
You've talked about this serial killer one before, like to me, but I've never heard of this one.
Oh, I thought you both knew about it. Either way, it's a series you just watch because you want to see what happens next. It's like you want to avoid your eyes from going on, but you kind of have to look, you know. It's you have to look to see if he ends up like killing another one or her friend or maybe her, and you don't want that to happen, but also you want to see if she maybe gets rid of him, and it's full of anxiety, but it's also fun anxiety. And it's a really original concept. Like maybe I'm just not doing it justice by explaining it. I think it's something you definitely have to read. But there's the main point I wanted to prove is just that there are a lot of unconventional and very interesting ways to write webtoons. And I think while it's probably the strong point of webtoons, because it's so distinct, it also probably isolates itself from stuff like manga doing it that way. But I think it's still a great thing. Like, I think that's probably the reason why manga readers don't are more familiar with just like just at max manhwas and not webtoons in general.
I think the reason why Webtoons has such a big variety of stuff, of like stories and kinds of stories, is the fact that it's very indie friendly. There's a lot of independent
Yeah.
creators, of like people that create comics by themselves or like in very small teams. So, Merryweather, do you know her, for example?
No?
She's the one that did all of the like Sun-chan and like Earth-chan stuff,
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
she did all of the like she did like 4 different, or has 4 or 5 different comics at the same time that she does, and she also did a lot of work for like I think Boobies and Neanders's lore video.
Oh, cool, sick.
I think she also became a VTuber herself now.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
I'm not sure 100%, but she's become very famous. I think primarily through her webcomics and stuff, because like she did the Internet Explorer Chan that is very.
Yeah.
All of them have a very similar formula in how they're structured, um, but they're all they're fun. I guess they're like a very ch- chill read, not much to think about. And then there's one I personally really like, where it's this idea. It's called Stalker X Stalker. Maybe you've heard of it. Um, there's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and the girlfriend is like the typical fucking yandere character. But turns out both of them are typical yandere characters. So it's like this webcomic about a couple where both of them are absolutely like obsessed with each other to the point of absurdity, and also like turns out their parents are also fucking yanderes.
Yeah, like I love those concepts. Like they're so much fun. Like
It's so stupid, but also so goddamn funny.
yeah,
Because,
it's like you have to it's you can just pick out ideas from every single person, and it doesn't take any super extreme talents that have been honed for 10,000 of years, like in the manga industry, to finally get to serialization. You can just have a good idea and just draw with your basic knowledge of drawing, and still get eyes on you. And I think that makes it interesting, and you can slowly build your manga up from there without like having to all.
another one I liked, but it's not really it never really went anywhere. There were a few chapters uploaded. It's the Persona 5 Alternative Universe comic. There's this guy, he or like I don't even know. I think it's I'm just gonna say them. There was this artist. They uploaded a few like concept arts on Twitter for an alternative universe where basically you have the inverse of cast of characters of Persona 5. So like all of the older characters are now the younger characters. So all of
Oh,
the
that's sick.
characters like
Alright.
Sojiro and the fucking weapons guy and Futaba's mom, they're all characters in high school now, and you make all of the Persona 5 main characters into their guardians. So you have Futaba, who takes over the Sojiro role, kind of, for example.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just really liked the concepts he had, or like they had. And the few the few chapters they uploaded weren't like there weren't much. There wasn't much story there, but they were interesting. It was fun. It was a fun idea. It's too bad it never really went anywhere, because like they haven't uploaded a new chapter in like I think a year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff you can find on Webtoons.
Yeah. It's also a shame that yeah, I just can't explain it. There are some really creative ideas, but every time I start picking it up, I can't or I find myself more than anything with Webtoons to just read the first 100 chapters and then kind of leaving it there, because I feel like many Webtoons artists struggle to keep their story up.
But at the same time, like I don't like the lack of a team doesn't like necessarily worsen your long-term possibilities, does it? Because
Well, if you have talent, then you can do it with just sheer talent alone. I think a good example of a long-running webtoon that has a large fan base and that everybody loves is Tower of God. I've heard so many great things about Tower of God. I've read the first 300 or 400 chapters of it, and I also liked it, but I couldn't quite see the hype. But for myself, like I couldn't get through the whole entire thing, but I get why people love it. Like but I think that's just a case of extreme talent that's behind that.
okay.
I think the lack of editors, we don't see what editors do that much in like the manga world because it's not that transparent. But I think having an editor can help a series quite a lot. And
Yeah, but my argument really was that sometimes they actually do have editors, and it's more.
yeah, but I think then you're already, if you have an editor in the webtoon world, I think, like I'm probably talking of my ass, but I think they only get an editor when they actually have the talent for a successful series, because they can really manage to give every indie talent on webtoon an editor.
Well, it's not that you get an editor from Webtoon. It's more like you yourself, if you want to be successful, and not even like saying it's only a talent dependent thing, because like there's a lot of hard work, and for some people it's not their first web series or series in general that becomes successful. I'd say even most of the time it's almost never their first series that becomes successful. But some people just see like, okay, this is getting big, like this is working out. Maybe I should hire someone for me that looks over my stuff, and because I don't think Webtoon has any sort of like influence on the artists on Webtoon. I don't have any fucking idea. I am talking out of my ass, but that's the impression I got so far. But I haven't read into the topic. Take everything we are saying here with a grain of salt. We are talking out of our ass.
We don't have any. We're not invested in the world of webtoons enough to actually have information about that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to understand why, for me, for example, the ratio at which I drop webtoons is so much higher than when I drop like an animated or a show that I'm already invested in. Like when I'm invested in a webtoon, I find myself it sizzles out much more quickly than a good anime or a good manga. Like I don't know why. Maybe it's because every webtoon is so fucking long nowadays. Like at least the great ones that I've read are all about 300 or 400 chapters long. They never seem to end. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's because they don't end.
Yeah.
I can
think
see
a lot of them are also started with no end in mind sometimes.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think
do manga though? Like do manga already have the entire thing planned out?
Some manga do and some don't. It's a different process for everyone.
Yeah, it's dependent on the genre. For example, if you're planning a shonen, then especially a battle shonen, then you don't plan an end anytime soon. You're just adding it when it falls off.
Force you to elongate it or
but I mean, if you're reading, for example, something like Assassination Classroom, I think then there the ending was planned because it was super popular. The ass classroom was super popular, you know.
Yeah. The ass classroom.
Yeah, that's the official name. That's the official fan name, the ass classroom.
That's funny. I still need to like finish that manga. I like read the first 3 volumes and never got any
I
farther.
never knew that people didn't like it. I always thought it was a super liked series.
People dislike it?
Yeah, some people don't like it. I don't know. I thought it was like a
Who have you heard this from?
generally well regarded anime. No, some YouTubers, some small communities think it's pretty average, but I thought it was a super good.
My
Like,
brother watched it and he was like, "Yeah, everyone likes it, but I don't like it that much."
yeah, I don't get that. Like, I cried at the end. Like, Koro Sensei was such an interesting character. But maybe
I need to definitely read it.
Yeah.
But
So
going
do I.
back to Webtoon for a second, regarding the long running Webtoon topic, have you guys ever heard of a webcomic called My Giant Nerd Boyfriend?
No.
Beats me.
Because I think that one is a pretty good representation of what I think works best on like Webtoon series. Because basically, like the series is about Fishball, who is the artist, and her boyfriend, who is absolutely fucking huge. He's a big dude, and he's a nerd. That's why it's called My Giant Nerd Boyfriend. And it's just like I think it's weekly. I'm not 100% sure. It's a weekly comic strip of her just like showing some like drawing out a scene involving her and her boyfriend. It's either like something super funny or something very cute or something interesting that happened to them or something sometimes even like something traumatizing or like life-changing that happened to them. And it's just like her making a comic of her relationship with her boyfriend, and like sometimes her boyfriend even draws like a whole chapter because he's also a comic artist.
Oh wait,
And
his
it's-
boyfriend. Oh, I thought the boyfriend didn't exist in real life.
No, it's her actual boyfriend.
Oh,
Like it's a real life dude.
Based on a true story.
No, it's based on her real life. So like that's like why it's I think it works best in this way where like there's no real plot line that you follow. It's just something you like read for comfort. It's very funny, it's very witty. It's just relaxing, you know? And there's no real story to follow. So there's no real expectation of where things will go eventually or like
Yeah, I think
how
that's where the
story
medium
develops.
shines. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where it works best, and it's also like one of my favorite webtoons. I'm up to date.
I've just seen the one of the last chapter. It's called Isekai, and in the end, she's Isekai. I don't know if you read this one already, but she's Isekai,
Yeah.
and she searches her boyfriend, and then she finds her boyfriend, and he's like, Miss, I'm already married, and she's like, to whom? And then there's Griffith from Berserk.
Yeah, exactly. You can. That's
so
also a cool
good.
part of it. Alex literally read like the last episode, and he didn't miss anything. You can literally pick any chapter from this and read it, and it's funny by itself. There is no like no. There's some context that enhances some of the jokes. Because, for example, one of the running gags is that the guy has a Pikachu T-shirt, but because he's so big, like it stretches out the Pikachu. It's like it always has a stupid fucking face, and like she draws that sometimes. For example, like there's some inside jokes like that, but you can pretty much pick any of the chapters, and it's gonna be funny by its own, or like interesting by its own.
Yeah, I feel like I shit a lot on Webtoon for no reason before. So like I want to correct myself. It's not that I hate Webtoons at all. I love Webtoons, and if I want something innovative and new, I go on Webtoons some of the time because I feel like there I have a greater chance of finding something cool. It's just that I wanted to see if I can find a reason why Webtoons hasn't broken out in the mainstream that much yet. I feel that's what I was searching for, like a reason why some Webtoons that I feel like have the potential to be great aren't or are already great aren't in the mainstream yet, and why some that I feel like have genius concepts devolve into something that maybe is not mainstream for a reason. Like I wanted to go. I feel like I had to go down that rabbit hole. But I think webtoons are great. Like, don't get me wrong about that. I love webtoons.
While we were still on the topic of webtoons, I wanted to talk about since we this kind of turned into the webtoon episode. I wanted to talk about my favorite webtoon point. I think general. I just wanted to talk about my favorite webtoon in general. It's also the first webtoon series I really started and read pretty much all the way through. It's not done yet, but it's I'm up to date with it. It's called Lore Olympus. Does that ring any bells for you?
Is that with the Greek gods?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told
It
me
has
about
this wonderfully painterly art style. I don't know if you've read it. Have you read any of it?
No, but I've heard. I think Stromboli did something about it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I thought he recommended it in some episode.
I see. No. I found this by myself because even I found it probably through a banner or something. Because I've never really seen anything like it. I wouldn't say it's the most unique, but it's a painterly style like this isn't very common, especially on webtoons. It's not very common for any sort of series to use a painterly style like this, and it really took me off guard because basically it tells the story of Persephone and Hades, which are two of the Greek gods, gods of the Greek pantheon, and it's a modern take on the story, kind of. There's a lot of differences. You have the human world and the underworld and Olympus, and all of the gods are, again, generally all of the characters are wonderfully colored, beautifully expressive, and very just, I don't know, it's just gorgeous to look at. And the story, it's a pretty standard romance story at first, or you think it would be, but it tackles a lot of stuff, also regarding to sexual abuse and generally anxiety, depression, mental health. There's also involving childhood trauma that regarding to Hades, and the characters are just very funny and interesting, and I don't know, I always really enjoyed it, and I just wanted to share it because people that know Webtoon probably know this series because I think it's been on the top of romance for a long time, in the top 5 of romance webtoons, but it's very popular and it's for a good reason, and if you've never heard of it, definitely check it out because it's very, very good. My roommate even bought the physical copy because there are physical copies of it, because it was so popular that they were able to finance a physical release for it. Even though I don't think it works as good, as well, because the scrolling is used in a very good way to the flow of the scrolling is used by the artist to direct the eye, as it is with manga, when mangaka use the fact that it it's a two-page format. And with Webtoon, a lot of artists use it that they know people are gonna be constantly scrolling downwards, and the artist really uses that in a good way, which doesn't really translate to physical as well.
book.
Just wanted to talk about it. Just wanted to mention it because it's absolutely beautiful. Anything else? We are already at 2.5 hours almost.
All we have planned for next episode is Alex's next Webtoon take, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Saturday. It's released on Saturday.
Look at all these Patreons. None.
Yes. We're gonna need one if you want to finance our Webtoon for our physical release. We don't have
Our
one
Webtoon?
either.
We have a Webtoon now?
Well,
Press X to
me and the
Webtoon.
boys.
well,
Press X to Webtoon.
The press X,
Press X to
webtoon.
Webtoon.
Translates really well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Perfect.
anything we do, it's a press X to do it.
Treat gamers to talk about gaming. Press X to Webtoon.
Like a Smash tournament, press X to Smash. Easy.
No. I think you can get that in. You can get quite something out of the title, but yeah.
After that pretty controversial take by me, I'm gonna have to conclude. See you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.